Me, 32, wife 30, brother-in-law, 27. My L, late 50s. My FIL recently passed and left a very sizable life insurance policy to his son and wife, my L. My wife received nothing. We understood this because her brother, 27, is not the brightest and still lives at home. He never goes out and only goes to work, and back home to play video games all day. They both recently moved into our home as they were too distraught to continue living in the home my FIL passed in. My FIL was truly the only adult in the home and was responsible for taking care of everything. He even drove my meal to and from work on a daily basis, a responsibility that has now been passed on to my wife. I have since taken over the estate planning, such as paying bills, swapping over polices, etc. My MIL doesn't speak English and doesn't drive, so as family it was my pleasure to take on this responsibility. After a month and a half, I finally settled all the bills, funeral planning, etc., and all the heavy lifting complete. I do not say it lightly, but without me, the family would be lost on what to do. For example, they did not even know where he worked, and were surprised to find out he even had a life insurance policy. Both do not have any retirement plans or savings. I suggested a shared bank account for my wife and her mom to put the payout into, where it will accrue interest, but also to pay off bills every month. Mill had no bank account before. It was at this point Mill says she would rather not have her daughter on the account and wants to give her portion of the payout to her son and have him set up with a savings account. She says this because since me and my wife have a home, that it would be better used on her brother. We do have a home, but we are by no means rich. In fact, them moving in would help us out financially as there would be extra income from them paying rent. I expressed to my wife that leaving everything to him would be incredibly irresponsible because then he will be left the family home and the payout, but mainly because he cannot do anything for himself and cannot be trusted with the money. I say this because of things I have learned about him. He does not have a driver's license, but drives a car to and from work, never helped with the estate. And something I learned was that he has a large amount of cash in his checking account. He has never had a girlfriend, and since the known him, has shown no signs of ever wanting to move out. The large bank balance worried me, because when I asked him about this, he told me he just had no idea what to do with it and has no concept of retirement planning, since his parents took care of all the bills, and all he did was pay some of the mortgage, go to work, and then go home to play video games. My wife was also there when her mom had breast cancer and took her to and from every single appointment, to the point of using all her vacation sick days to help during this time. Her brother is not a bad guy. In fact, he is a great friend, but he just doesn't ever seem like he will grow up to be a responsible person. I told my wife that after agreeing to take them in and have them live with us, that it would be a slap in the face to be left nothing, so I told her that her mother and brother should move back to their home and use the money from the payout to help them live with the absence of my FIL. She was then furious with me and said all I care about is money, even though I feel that this is not so much about money, but that there is a complete lack of respect with being shown nothing for all the help we have and will be giving. So Reddit, AITA, edit. I would like to add that their plan for their family home would be to rent it out. They purchased it before interested rates went up a few years back and would be set to make $1,000 cash profit every month from it. Second edit. A lot of people are asking, so I'll clear it up. We didn't even know about any life insurance policy when we took them in. It was only after very extensive digging through his records that I found out there was such a policy. Third edit. I'd like to add that my wife thinks this is the Rether move to leave them to fend for themselves because her brother and mom are not able to communicate effectively if needed. She only speaks Spanish, and he only speaks English, but does understand Spanish and can say simple words like yes or no in Spanish, so he would be unable to have in-depth conversations about any planning. That is where I have been serving as a bridge, albeit without any input from the brother, as he has not been involved with any planning as it doesn't seem too important to him.